Aloha, everyone. Welcome. I'm so honored to be with you today. For those who may not yet know me, my name is Lori, and I am a licensed psychologist here in the state of Hawaii, as well as a certified master teacher with the Tao Academy. And I am excited and honored that I was asked to do a short presentation. And I hope to do more of a series, but I wanted to do at least one thing today. And so this would be a mental health tip for maturing marvelously, which, in other words, aging well. And as I was researching some of the keys or um, you know, some of the tips that would be helpful, the number one tip that came up, I saw was on, you can see the screen, learning to cope with change. So, as you know, as we get older, we tend to have more experiences. And with this experience comes a lot of change. And in the world, the way it's at the moment, we notice that there's a lot of things coming up and it doesn't always feel so good. And so, how do we cope with all of these things? And there are certain mental strategies that can be very helpful. And I use this with my clientele of all ages, actually, usually from about, I've done it with middle school students all the way to seniors. So you can too learn, or if you already know these tips or techniques, allow yourself to go to the next level. See if you can refine them even more. Or even if you practice along and this seems basic for you, just the practicing will help you develop the neural pathways and neurochemicals that can keep your mind more balanced and in a happier or more resilient state. Okay, so let's kind of get started. And so when we talk about coping with change, it might also be closely connected to building resilience. Okay. And so resilience allows us to better tolerate with the stress, anxiety, and the sadness that can come from maybe traumas that we might experience, adversity and challenges that just come with, life. And with building greater resilience, you have the ability to rebound back from setbacks much more quickly and effectively. And so, how do we do this? I'm going to review with you a simple strategy and technique that you can keep practicing. And basically, it involves these components. There's many others, but I just highlighted some key components. And so one is to practice acceptance. Okay. This acceptance would be an acceptance and acknowledgement of how we feel without judgment. So we're going to do a meditation, but at this time, close your eyes and think about a situation that or a change that has happened in your life. Again, change is naturally occurring, but there may be a change that is a bit challenging for you. Like my daughter just left for college, and my partner and I just had to drop her off, and it's been challenging, to accept that she's no longer there. I can't go into room to talk to her or, give her a nightly massage. Um, and adjusting to that, you might have other feeling, as we age, have losses and we grieve friends who have maybe passed or transitioned, different jobs from, having a productive job and social life to maybe retirement. So whatever it could be, just notice for yourself, what is it that you might want to work on for this exercise? And I want you to just acknowledge it without judgment, okay? And we're going to do the exercise later and go through it. And not only acknowledging your feelings about it, but later what we'll do is we'll try to help you as you acknowledge your feelings without judgment. You'll notice that it may be easier to accept the situation and focus on what you can do rather than what is out of our control. Okay. And this comes with also being kind and compassionate with ourselves and also expressing gratitude. Okay. So these are some of the key points that came up in, the literature. And it's easy to say, but how do we do it? How do we get there? Okay. So again, we will do an exercise right now. So I want you to close your eyes and you want to just check in to your body. You've thought about that situation of change that maybe is hard for you or something that you're going through, whether it's, and I want you to notice what is your current level of distress as you're thinking about that situation. And you want to be honest with yourself. Sometimes we might feel that we cannot be upset, we cannot be sad, we cannot be angry. We might have learned that that's a negative thing and, we shouldn't feel like that. But the thing is, we do feel it. We feel it. So avoiding it, suppressing it, denying it is not the most helpful ways because the message is going to stay within your being. But if you accept it and acknowledge it, you can naturally and more easily process it through. And then you can get to the other steps or the stages of what we talked about of being able to connect with gratitude, to connect with being able to accept the situation. Okay. So give yourself, what's your number on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 could be, I'm very distressed. I'm very upset with this change. I'm feeling I'm feeling very sad or very confused. Whatever it is, get your number. And now close your eyes and check in. Notice in your body where that emotion, this thought or feeling is. Okay. Or memory. It could be a past memory that you still are trying to process. Every time you think of it, you're still upset about it. Okay. You can use something like that as well. Like that person did this to me, or I'm still sad when I think of this. So notice where you're feeling that in your body. Notice if there's associate like a color or an image, like how big is this feeling of agitation or anger or sadness? How does it look like? How does it feel like? And you're going to be practicing looking at it from an uplifted and expanded awareness. You're going to just notice it with kindness and compassion. This is something we can do. We can imagine kindness and compassion. Even if we're not feeling it right now, we can still try to imagine it. That will train your brain to form these neural pathways and neurochemical benefits of kindness and compassion. So just imagine to the best of your ability. Don't judge it if you're not feeling it. Just the trying can be helpful. Okay? You can help it by imagining a light. So if you can imagine kindness and compassion as having a color. What color would it be? What's the feeling of it? You might have an image of like someone wrapping you up in a blanket and kind of, you know, soothing you, stroking your hair, or hugging you, patting your back. Whatever is comforting to you, you can imagine an image, imagine a feeling, how it feels, and imagine that coming down into where you might be feeling these emotions, negative emotions, or this challenge. And again, we're going to bring in this light. Imagine the light or the image, the feeling. Imagine that, knowing that someone understands how I feel. And the person who understands it is you. You're going to be your own best friend. I call it the best friend voice to my clients. You're going to imagine that you have the greatest friend that is so compassionate, kind, loving. They can be firm with you and tell you things honestly, but you know that it's because they love you. Okay. If you don't have a friend like this, you can imagine how it would be to have a friend like this. And you can develop this friend in yourself. Okay. So imagine, like, wow, someone understands me. I'm not happy or I'm upset. And imagine the love and light of just that compassion, that kindness, that unconditional regard, positive regard for you or love for you. It's coming in. And you can imagine it by visualizing a light, a color, an image going into the area in your body that you're holding it. Okay. This helps you to have what we call some psychological distance. You're looking at it from an uplifted and expanded awareness, feeling this love and light coming in without judgment, without attachment. This is like a mindfulness approach. We don't judge, we're just noticing. We're acknowledging and noticing. And just by acknowledging and noticing, we're making this connection with how we feel. We're accepting how we feel without judgment. And as you bring in this light of love and acceptance and compassion, notice how it might shift. For some of you, it might just kind of melt away and you might feel, oh, I can feel the light coming in. I'm feeling a bit better. Sometimes naturally more positive thoughts, a more positive outlook can happen, like more gratitude, positivity. For some of you, you might have some meaning that come in, like, oh, I think this happened because of this, or you know what, this is what I can do in this situation. It might move to service, to finding a purpose or the positive in the situation. If not, it's okay, don't judge it. Just follow whatever comes up. You might have layers of negative emotions or messages, and you might need to just do it a bit longer. For those of you who are more experienced with this, it could move a bit more quickly, depending on the situation and the, connecting messages. But allow yourself, let's do it a few more moments, just bringing in the light of compassion, of kindness into that area. For some of you, you might naturally go into expressions of forgiveness, whether it's like, I think I need to forgive myself for putting all this weight and pressure, or forgive the person that maybe you felt wronged you, or, that did not treat you well. You might ask and want to ask for forgiveness, even if, you know, there's not a person physically present. You can still talk to and imagine that you have the soul of the person or the situation that you are asking forgiveness for. There's a saying that forgiveness brings inner joy, inner peace. So, with the forgiveness, what you're doing is you're releasing any self judgment, resentment, anger, irritation about ourselves, about others, about the situation, and we're letting it go. It naturally leaves because we're bringing in the light, this positive message through this light of kindness, compassion, honor, appreciation, that it naturally washes away, soothes some of the negative information that we're holding, negative emotions. So continue to feel this light, light, light. Again, we want to build the connection to light and the positive message of compassion and kindness without judgment. No judgment, no attachment. And just imagine the soothing blanket of compassion, empathy, understanding, love and light is just warming you, soothing you, calming you. And just check in. How are you feeling? For some of you, hopefully, you might feel a little bit lighter. You might come to a bit closer to greater acceptance of the situation, or feeling gratitude and seeing some of the positives that can come from the situation. Or it might direct your attention to focusing what you can do rather than your mind being stuck with things you cannot change. Whatever it is, no judgment. At this time, you can just wrap it up by just thanking yourself, expressing gratitude. Thank you for trying this activity. Give your soul, your heart, your mind, your body the opportunity to express gratitude that we tried something today to make ourselves feel better, to learn to develop our resilience, to learn how to better cope with any type of change. This can build our confidence that no matter what we feel, we have a tool and technique that can help us shift it. So once I learned this technique, I do it every day. I do it all the time because I'm human and we still have a lot of emotions. We might have some negative thoughts. But with this, I can practice compassion and I don't have to judge myself. And believe me, my life feels much better. And if you're still feeling a bit like more negativity is coming out, more emotion is coming out, don't judge yourself. Allow yourself to reach out because some of the other tips is to reach out to others for more support. So this might mean that you might need a bit more time to do this process or to maybe talk it out because maybe some things are coming out that you want to get off your chest, so to speak. So reach out to others. It could be friends, family members, professionals, or people you trust. But you want it to be people that are positive, that you will also feel this kindness and compassion, the empathy come through to you. You can also invest in self-care. And there's many different types of self-care. Some people go to some physical exercise. You may have already met my sister Chiami, the occupational therapist, who kind of help you with some exercises to maybe prevent falls and injuries. Uh, you know, so there's some maybe physical things that you can do. You can like rest, diet. These are some other things that you can do as well. But think about some other ways that you can invest in your own emotional self-care as well. Okay, because a lot of times we tend to judge ourselves, and this is not helpful. Okay, so again, do a self-care that makes you feel loved, appreciated, respected, and uh, we have many other things that you can do. And I wanted to just end with this picture I found where you two, as you develop these skills and these tips to mature marvelously, you will feel fantastic as well with joy and more light in your life. It has been a true honor to be with you. And if you do have any other questions or need more support, the teachers there in the program can help you connect with me, and I would be most honored and happy to support you through what you have. So thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope you enjoyed the session today. Aloha.